Prime Minister of Malaysia,
Yes.
said that the region spent 40 years trying to build up its economy, and along comes a moron like Soros with a lot of money, and it's all over. He called you a criminal.
A boy in the eye of the storm-born. As György Schwartz in Budapest, Hungary in 1930, George Soros came into a world poised on the edge of catastrophe. As the son of a prosperous Jewish lawyer, his early life was comfortable, but not for long. The Nazi occupation of Hungary during World War II shattered that comfort. When the German army marched into Budapest in 1944, Soros was just 13 years old. Deportations began, ghettos were formed, and Jews vanished daily. Soros's father, Tivadar, a resourceful man with a passion for Esperanto and escape, arranged false identities and Christian papers for the family.
Well, he was a prisoner of war in Russia,
Right.
and he escaped, and he lived through the Russian Revolution, and he came back from that a changed man.
Young George lived under a pseudonym, hiding in plain sight, often separated from his family, depending on strangers, intuition, and a maturity well beyond his years. Later, Soros would claim these experiences taught him the fragility of human systems, governments, laws, currencies, and the power of individual action within them. Chapter 2. The Long Road. After the war, the new threat came not from fascism, but communism. Hungary fell under Soviet influence, and intellectual freedom began to erode. At 17, Soros left for London. He scraped by with menial jobs, railway porter, waiter, until he earned a place at the prestigious London School of Economics. There, he encountered Karl Popper, the Austrian-British philosopher of science. Popper's philosophy of falsifiability and his defense of the open society would become foundational to Soros's worldview. Popper taught that no ideology could ever be complete or unchallengeable. Societies must remain open to criticism, reform, and diversity. This became more than a philosophy to Soros. It became a mission, but he had to find a way to survive first.
Money was very serious. It was very important for me to make a living. I developed my philosophy in college while I was also earning my way through college by working in various jobs. For instance, I had as a waiter in a nightclub while I was studying during the day.
He tried to become an academic philosopher, but couldn't find work, so he pivoted to finance. Chapter 3. The Quantum Leap Soros arrived in New York in 1956 and started working as a stock trader. By 1969, he had founded his own hedge fund with $4 million under management, the Quantum Fund. It would become one of the most successful and legendary hedge funds in history. Soros didn't just study markets, he questioned their very structure. He believed that markets were not rational, self-correcting systems, but were driven by human biases. He developed a theory he called reflexivity, suggesting that market participants' biases and actions could distort prices, and those distorted prices could in turn influence the behavior and beliefs of market participants. This feedback loop, Soros argued, created booms and busts, manias and crashes. He didn't just theorize, he acted. The Quantum Fund began making spectacularly accurate bets on currencies, interest rates, and macroeconomic trends. Chapter 4. The Man Who Broke the Bank of England.
You are the guy, they said, who broke the Bank of England.
Right, and
did.
Well, that's true.
How much do you think he made? $1 billion.
Well, I didn't do it, of course, on my own, and I couldn't have done it on my own.
You mean you had other speculators following your instinct?
No, they weren't following. I was following them. In other words, the market is an impersonal force, but I'm a face that can be identified. So I'm the face of the market,
right.
But I can't go against the market. If I wanted to, let's say, break the Bank of England, I would be broken. I would be wiped out because it wouldn't succeed. It's only if I can guess right which way the market is inclined to go.
In 1992, the United Kingdom was part of the European Exchange Rate Mechanism, ERM, which tied the pound sterling to the Deutsche Mark. Soros believed the pound was overvalued and that Britain would be forced to devalue it. He bet $10 billion of borrowed money against the pound, selling it short. When the UK government raised interest rates and spent billions to defend the pound, Soros held firm. On Black Wednesday, September 16, 1992, Britain exited the ERM. The pound plummeted. Soros made $1 billion in a single day. He was hailed and reviled as the man who broke the Bank of England. For Soros, it was the clearest demonstration yet of his reflexivity theory. The belief in a stable currency had been shattered by someone who questioned the assumptions of the system and bet accordingly. Chapter 5. Philanthropy and the Open Society. After conquering the financial world, Soros turned his focus toward building something lasting. Inspired by Popper, he created the Open Society Foundation's OSF in 1979, which would grow to become one of the largest philanthropic
Music
networks in the
licensing
world. He poured
reimagined.
billions into supporting civil society, democratic governance, education, and human rights, particularly in Eastern Europe, where he helped nations transition from communism to democracy. Soros funded independent media outlets, anti-corruption watchdogs, scholarships for marginalized students, and legal reform initiatives. His philanthropy was far from passive.